everybody, and welcome back to Break Time Conversations, a YouTube channel where I have conversations with people in the education space. Like I've mentioned before, I meet so many of these interesting people, and so I decided to document my conversations with them here so that everyone can hear their stories and the amazing work that they do. I'm here today with Monica Kochar. She has been a teacher trainer, an author, a freelancer, mentor for curriculum work, and the list goes on and on. And right now, a fellow at Whitehall Jr. So, Monica is someone who I came across on LinkedIn. I started enjoying her posts and then looked at her profile and saw the interesting things and the list of all the things that she's done. So I thought it would be great to get to know her better here on this channel. So Monica, thank you for being here. And we'd love to know.
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. And we'd love to know more about this journey of yours, from where you've started and what you are doing now.
Okay, I think I plonked into teaching, though I didn't intend to. But the moment I had my first class, it was like an epiphany that this is what I'm meant to do in my life. So instead of going through the entire trail, I'll tell you the critical turning points. The first turning point was when I was teaching in the traditional school, and I found kids in grade 10 chasing me down the corridor. Ma'am, please increase 1 mark for me so my overall average becomes this. And I found this is not education at all. I mean, this is not something I can do for the rest of my life. And that made me switch to alternate education, where the money was less, but the space to explore, create, experiment was amazing. And more importantly, the adults in such spaces were people who had that stability, to know that kids learning, growth, education is marks is okay, let's put it on one side, but what else is happening? So I explored this for many years. So my second turning point was when I in alternate sector bumped into a number of special education kids with special education needs. And I was completely out of my comfort zone. I was like, now, what do I do here? I mean, here's this child who doesn't even sit on his seat, and here's this child who is reading everything incorrectly. And I didn't really want to go into details of dyslexia, autism, or everything, but I was like, but there's some way I need to learn to work with them. And I think watching them, their struggles with maths, and watching kids who were traumatized with maths is probably what has made me who I am today. Because if I say what is the reason for what I do it because I know somewhere Sarah will be affected positively, or an Ishan would be affected positively. If I just twist this question a little bit here, one of my so and so kids, maybe Alok, will be have happier with maths. So my whole journey became that. And in teaching career, the final destination was IB, which again gave me even a wider platform to understand, and super, super rich platform to understand what education is all about. And so that was the next turning point. And I think the final turning point was when I decided that I'm done with teaching now. Let's move to a wider impact through teachers, through education industry. And that's when I jumped into education industry in India. And yeah, that's about it.
Wow, what an interesting journey. My gosh, so many things. So one of the things that I noticed on your LinkedIn profile was something about humane maths.
Yeah.
And so would you like to tell us more about that?
Yeah. So humane maths is actually a title that one of my students only gave. And she says the way you teach maths, it's you are more about humans than maths. So if you ever create a brand for yourself, call it Humane Maths. It's a very, many people may find it kind of oxymoronic. If you are not much concerned about maths, but more concerned about the person, I found maths takes care of itself. So, for example, if a child walks into a class and says, I absolutely hate maths, and you're okay with it, okay, like you as a person is more important to me. I see you're a football player, you're a great player, and I applaud every time you kick the ball and you get an award for the school. I found that when you connect to the children as a person, somehow maths takes care of itself. They start doing maths. And whatever blocks they have in at the emotional level, I think the neuroscientists would be able to explain it better what happens. It just works like anything. So then I would have parents coming and meeting me and asking me that, what did you do? My child hasn't done any math till for 11 years, and suddenly in grade 11 she's coming and saying that, let's do some math. And what exactly did you do? And I said, I just ignored maths and I focus on the girl. So humane maths, then I kind of collated it and I realized that there are a bunch of strategies that you can use in your class, which works to get any kid to maths. And then when I applied those strategies, I took them to teachers through teacher training. I took them into the books which I wrote or reviewed, or in the ed tech. Whenever I put in those strategies, I am to date getting the feedback that it works. Basically, even from the entrepreneurs, they say that, whatever design you have made, it seems to be working for us. So, but the foundation stays my work with the kids, the traumatized kids for maths. Foundation stays over there. I hope it kind of
Yeah.
made sense.
I was one of those children and still am a huge mind block when it comes to maths. And
Yeah.
and I feel sad because I have a friend who really loves maths, and she said that, it was one of the easiest things because she didn't have to study so much. Once you get it, she could have fun in college because she didn't really have to sit and study. She just had to practice every now and then. And so, yeah, but I'm so proud to say that my son now really loves maths, and I'm trying very hard to send positive vibes, not give him any negative vibes when it comes to maths. And I love what you said, Monica, about focusing on the child and not on the subject. I've read so many quotes and so many articles on this, and tell my teachers so often that, don't focus so much on the subject, focus on the children that you're teaching. So are you still training teachers when it comes to these?
So as of now, the project I'm on right now, it is in training the teachers over here. I also keep picking up here and there some pro bono work in helping anybody, when anybody calls, or a parent or someone. But the main work right now is training the teachers. So we built up a program which is again focused completely on how do you change the mindset of kids towards maths. So I realized that through all my experiences, there were certain strategies which work wonders. Something like, let's say, collaborative learning works amazingly in the class to get kids levels up. Then if you use multiple strategies, something which I finally realized, it's Eric Jensen. He calls it variety and novelty. Keep doing something different and keep doing something new, so that a point comes where, let's say, kids would say, I don't know what she's going to do tomorrow in the class. So when you come to that level of variety and novelty in the class, that's when, they are forever eager to know what's going to happen tomorrow. Are we going to be in the class also? Because it's quite possible they might come to my class and on the door there would be a note, come to the field in that particular corner and leave your books and notebooks in the class itself. So those bunch of strategies I kind of collated, converted it into a training program. And that's what is, we are testing it out with a couple of teachers at Whitehall Jr.
Oh, that's lovely. Oh, okay, at Whitehall Jr. That's wonderful.
Even before my training was across India, I tried out everything. So, and the feedback from the teachers used to be that it works. That's what I used to keep hearing, that it's working.
That's amazing. If you ever do come up with a book, please share it with us. And I think you should.
I have.
You do? Okay.
I have a book. Yeah. It was published by Sri Aurobindo Society after I worked with a number of their schools. So that book actually is my complete journey. It's divided into few parts. It's called Math Magician. It's available on
Oh,
Amazon.com,
okay.
and it's for teachers. So I've got books for kids which were published by Oxford University Press and Kriti Publications, and I also have a book for teachers which were published by Shri Aurobindo Society. So that has mm, um, section on whatever I think about education, then all the transformative relationships where the kids who were, let's say, frightened with maths, how they turned around, then some maths projects and loads of those practical things which I discovered that work in the class on how do you organize. So that book is about how do you become a transformative teacher in the classroom, someone who is, the whole focus is to transform the way maths is perceived for the kids. So if it's gifted kids, they go further. And so it's like, how do you cover the entire spectrum? What do you do to create an ecosystem?
Wow, that's amazing. Monica, thank you so much. So, before we end, I just want to ask, so you have been on this amazing journey, and I'm sure
Hmm.
this journey is continuing. So, what
Yeah.
is next? What do you think is next on your cards?
See, in ed industry in India, what I enjoyed most was working with entrepreneurs, the startup founders. So that's what is the present. That how do you take an idea, convert it into a kind of a project, then a company, and take it forward. I probably, for me, this is something I would love to continue. Kind of a startup project where you have a problem that you don't know what to do. For example, okay, I've got these bunch of teachers and I need to create a training program, but adaptability is the core value which I practiced as a teacher. I learned and I practice it now. So how do I adapt myself continuously to newer and newer challenges which come from the ed management industry in India? That would be the next thing. That's what excites me.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I think adaptability is so important, especially as we live in these uncertain times. As
Yeah.
teachers, as people, as whatever, we need to adapt to everything. Monica, thank you
Mhm.
so much for being here. Thank you for sharing your story with us, and all the best as you continue this wonderful and
Thank
inspiring
you.
journey. And to everybody who's watching, I will put all the links to her books and to her LinkedIn profile so you can find out more about Monica. Monica, thanks again and enjoy your tea in cold
Yeah,
day.
yeah. I know before it gets cold. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Bye bye for now.
Bye.